From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, happy Tuesday morning to you. Thank you so much for checking in with Weather NorCal. You know, the temperatures, they're starting to drop. We noticed that yesterday. We're going to notice even more so today and in the next few days as well. We're going to be looking at this pattern change, and it's going to be slow to occur this week, but we're just going to notice day by day, temperatures starting to drop, more clouds moving in, and chances for rain kicking in as well. We've got showers by the end of the week, through the weekend as well, with snow levels dropping as well. Could get down to about 3,000 feet by the weekend. Taking a look at our planner for today, still plenty of sunshine for the valley. I think we'll see some passing high clouds. Still in the 70s, though, for those daytime highs. For Siskiyou, Modoc County, temperatures there probably somewhere in the 60s. That's also the case for the eastern mountains for today. We take you out to the north coast. I think we're going to see that fog this morning. It may be a bit difficult for it to really clear out. Some areas may see some clearing, but I think we're going to be looking at that fog kind of persisting for a good portion of the day for most of the coast. See what I did there? I don't know. Didn't do that on purpose. And of course, you can see the inland areas looking at mainly sunny skies here for the afternoon, not to mention out in Trinity County. So here's the big picture. Big area of high pressure still in place. And that's pretty much the dominant feature. But when we really get down to the surface here, you can see here this morning a lot of that fog. And kind of the same footprint we saw yesterday, kind of along the Highway 101 corridor there. And of course, really along the coast, most areas at least seeing that what we call stratus deck, where even though it's not right at the surface, we're still seeing a lot of those clouds overhead, keeping it overcast. And that's what I expect at the very least for most of us through the day today. There will be periods where we'll probably see the reduced visibility, but overall, you can see overcast skies along the coast. Now, as we go into the afternoon, there may be a few clouds, maybe even entering the picture here late in the day. Now, there is a very weak disturbance that's going to be passing through to our north on Wednesday, especially late in the day Wednesday. You see this line right here. So, I mean, could we see a stray shower or maybe even a thunderstorm in northern Trinity County or eastern Siskiyou County? Not out of the question. That's for tomorrow. Certainly be on the lookout for that. And then as we go into your Thursday, still dry. But we're beginning to see the first signs of the wet weather coming in toward the end of the week. And not to mention this weekend. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Those temperatures in the low to even some mid-70s. Your North Coast neighborhood forecast, 58 for Rio Dell, 60 in Blue Lake, and there you can see Shelter Cove, about 57 degrees. We take you up north, 62 degrees for Smith River, 58 degrees in Trinidad, and there's Hoopa with a high of 75 degrees. Let's take you out towards Siskiyou County, and there you can see 72 for Hornbrook, 73 for our neighbors to the north in Oregon and Ashland, 73 for Happy Camp, and there's Weed with a high of 67. Let's take you out to your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, 67 for Tule Lake, 65 out in Canby and Aden, about 64 degrees. And your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 68 for Paradise, 66 out in Chester, and there you can see Doyle, a high of about 69 degrees. And your Valley neighborhood forecast, temperatures once again still in the 70s. Look for a high of about 73 degrees for Pasquenta, 75 in Los Bolinos, as well as Oroville. And we take you up north with 72 degrees out in Lakehead, 73 for the city of Shasta Lake, and Redding, about 75 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. First day of spring is today, although it does not officially occur until 8:06 tonight. So we're still going to be in the winter season officially through most of the day today. Still dry through Thursday, but we have those showers entering the picture here by the end of the week, going through the weekend and early next week. Well, that's a quick look at your forecast. You can go on out for the rest of your day. Hope you have a great day. If you want to stick around, you can do that for a more deep dive forecast. But before we get into that, I want to remind you that we do have a weather app here at Weather NorCal. It's free, and you get everything that Weather NorCal has to offer right there in the palm of your hands. Just go to your app store and search for Weather NorCal. Well, today, as mentioned, is the first day of spring. So the question is why? Why do we have seasons? Well, as you may remember from junior high or high school science class, the Earth is tilted on its axis. As you know, it rotates on that axis, right? It spins on that axis, but it has a 23.5 degree tilt. This is the reason why we have the different seasons. So as it rotates around the Earth, different times of the year, you've got the equinox, you've got the solstice, right? Those are all the different times of the year. So this is the one that we're looking at right here. It's the vernal equinox, as it's known. Now, my wife has asked me, why is it called vernal? Well, vernal, actually, the definition of it means kind of the beginning or new or young. That's kind of what vernal is. So that's kind of the definition of it there. But it's called the vernal equinox. It officially occurs, of course, today at 8:06 p.m. Now, typically what that means is equal days of sun and equal day of night. Not 100% equal. In fact, we'll be looking at more and more daylight here in the days to come here as we approach and even go into summer. So we at least have that to look forward to. But happy first day of spring. But again, the first full day of spring won't be here until tomorrow. So we do have this big ridge of high pressures in place. I was talking about that earlier. But we look out over the Pacific, you can see just how active it is. Now, we look at these storm systems, they're going to change shape and morph as they go through time. But the overall energy is there. And that energy will eventually have an impact on our weather, especially as the main ridge of high pressure begins to break down. So you have the ridge of high pressure right here. You've got this energy moving eastward. Now, as the next storm system approaches, the door will be open by the end of the week as that ridge of high pressure breaks down. You see the ridge right here? This right now is right on top of us, and it's still acting like a brick wall, preventing any storms from moving in. But as we go through the next several days, that ridge will kind of break down and move down to the south and east. As I mentioned, opening the door for the next storm system right here. That'll be here by Friday, and we've got that rain moving in. Now, I think initially snow levels will be fairly high, probably about 5,000 feet or higher. And then as some colder air begins to kind of filter in, snow levels will begin to drop. I think around 4,000 feet Saturday. By Sunday, maybe even as low as 3,000 feet. Good news if you're a skier out at the Mount Shasta Ski Park, probably getting some fresh snow out of this series of storms. But you see the trough right here, colder air, and that's why we got all that snow up here. But that colder air, of course, it moderates as you head south, but colder air is pulling down from the north. Now, we take you into early next week. We're looking at more of a northwesterly flow of winds. The winds could be picking up, by the way, as we do go into early next week, but still a disturbance pushing through on Monday. Now, I'm seeing indications we might see a break next Tuesday, and then going into next Wednesday, Thursday, there's the next storm system right here spinning away. Disturbances are rotating around it, keeping our chances for rain and not to mention high elevation snow. Now, is this exact? I mean, we are looking at the end of March here. This is not this Thursday, but it's a week from this upcoming Thursday. So you get the idea. We're going a long way out. But again, the main thing I really want to illustrate this, and this is what I was talking about yesterday, is that I want you to see that the warmer weather we have been experiencing, it's going to become a thing of the past. And we should be looking at more of an active weather pattern going into the next 10 days or so. Now, the precipitation outlook, as you can see here, coming in from the Climate Prediction Center, yeah, it has us within at least the lower range of the above normal rainfall, which means I don't anticipate these to be major storms that are going to bring us a ton of rain, but there's storms that are going to bring us some rain nonetheless. And on top of that, cooler temperatures, and that should help support some of those lower snow levels I was talking about. So here's a marine forecast for your Tuesday. West winds at 5 to 10 knots. There you can see your sunrise and your sunset. No alerts out there, so this is good. You can see, of course, take a look at the wave heights. Here's one of the reasons why we don't have any alerts, because the waves aren't really doing anything to be too alarming. In fact, when I'm expecting to see them begin to drop as we go into the next 24 hours or so. All right, so for today, kind of the broad perspective of what's going on over Northern California. Of course, those cooler temperatures along the coast, inland, mountains, valley, all looking at those warmer temperatures. Mainly in the mountains, north and east, mid to upper 60s, mid 70s for most of us in the valley. Even for parts of Trinity County, mid to upper 70s here for the inland areas as well. So we take a look at our 7-day outlook region by region, and there you can see for the valley, temperatures dropping. Again, this is that slow change I was talking about, eventually seeing those showers coming in by Friday through the weekend. Snow levels are going to be around 5,000 feet on Friday, and then eventually lowering down to about 3,000 feet by Sunday, and Monday around 3,500 feet. There's a look at Mount Shasta, Alturas, and Susanville. Of course, got the mainly sunny skies today. Another gorgeous spring-like, even though it is officially going to be spring at 8:06 p.m. tonight. And then, of course, we do have those temperatures slowly dropping and more of an active weather pattern coming in by the end of the week, through the weekend, and even into early next week.